love and happiness. Yeah.
Love and Happiness's mission is to help 1 million couples. Dr. Vandy and Barbara Coulter are committed to reaching this goal. Love and Happiness has helped thousands over the years through their couples retreats hosted in various cities. Their popular Central Florida TV show, Love and Happiness, has been syndicated in several states. Their best-selling book, Love and Happiness: The Secrets to Creating Winning Relationships, has helped singles and couples alike learn how to build better relationships. It's no surprise that the Coulters are in high demand. Relationship subject matter experts featured on talk shows and national radio looking for real relationship talk. The Coulters' virtual retreats, social media platforms, Facebook live streams, and relationship masterclasses have put their mission to help 1 million couples in their sights. Dr. Vandy Coulter, Ph.D., a certified counselor with presidential status in the American Association of Christian Counselors, has a virtual counseling practice that serves CEOs, pastors, entrepreneurs, individuals, and couples who want their relationship to go from bad to good or good to great. Dr. Vandy has been featured on Fox, CBS, NBC, their national affiliates, and various media for the impact from his virtual counseling as a response to the relational health crisis during the COVID pandemic. Dr. Barbara Coulter, real estate investor and serial entrepreneur, complements and contributes to what makes Love and Happiness the perfect blend of real talk and fun. Our motto is no one gets their happily ever after. They create their happily ever after. After the hurt, after the disappointment, you can still be happy. And Love and Happiness is just what you need to have.
Wait a minute. All right. Welcome. 4th of July, fireworks conversation.
Happy Saturday, Facebook. Happy
right.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And yes, it's Independence Day weekend.
Yeah, so we want to free some of y'all when it comes to sex.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, indeed.
So share our page with your friends, your family, and whoever else you want to share it with. And like us and love us. Don't forget that.
That's right, because we're going to talk about sex.
Yes, let's talk about sex.
All right, so what we're going to be doing today is talking about sex, and in particularly, a lot of married couples tend to stop having it like they should.
Once they get married.
Hey, Felicia. And so if you're not getting enough or if you're getting too much, all right, so that door swings both ways.
Both ways, right?
And real talk is 90% of the time, it's the woman who's saying she's getting too much because she wants to not do it as much. And the man is like,
got kids.
We need to do it more.
Working.
And we're going to talk about both sides and how do you get what you want. All right, we're going to talk about sex, real talk. If you are not comfortable talking about sex, like it's not a real part of that marriage relationship.
Wait. Why is Christians? They're the ones. They don't like talking about sex either, but it's a lot of sex going on.
I don't know. You know what? I would say yes, but I'd also say our culture is a little bit different when it comes to sex, because when you think about like certain countries, the women walk around topless and all that other stuff. But yes, Christianity,
the church folks, they're having a lot of sex, not married. And they don't want to talk about it. And the ones who are married, same thing, they don't want to talk about it.
So he said, Dad, I'm nervous, I'm sweating. Yeah, because this sex stuff is, I'm trying to just stay on camera and not make some, virtual viral video, no, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. I was actually running around getting all of this stuff set up for our live at the last minute. I can see her.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? Let me snatch a cloth before I'm sweating, like I'm on the stand.
Plus
and I'm lying about
right?
something. Yeah, no, it ain't that. I was running around. I just had to run around last minute set up because we like to start on time. and it's a real slow pace because our kids is not around.
We
today.
are kid free for the weekend.
So
they're in Atlanta.
We got the right stuff. Felicia's crazy. All right, so let's talk about it in terms of let's take positions first.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to reduce it to Christianity. I'd like to just leave it in marriage, in relationships standpoint, particularly marriage, in terms of the sex, because it's like a lot of times people don't understand, and when they're outside marriage, it seems like sex is way more frequent. If you get married, a lot of times married folk will testify they don't have as much sex as they had previous. Now, I'm going to leave the Christianity piece out only from the standpoint that we do agree that there are a whole world of people of all faiths, particularly the Christian faith, who does have sex. So what I'm saying is a lot of times because it's in that space, it's different. I only want to talk about marriage because marriage is where sex tends to change. It's where, if it either gets richer or it gets poorer. Okay. So we're going to talk about why people, and we're just going to stay in marriage. I have to say this over and over because my wife will disregard what I'm saying. So if you hear me repeat something, you should interpret that as he doesn't trust that information just went live to her. So we're talking about in the marriage relationship, how sex can change for better or for worse. Okay. And why those things happen. Because people are dealing with this for real on both sides of that door. Okay. All right. So what side do you want to talk about first? Getting too much or not enough? And the reasons why?
It's up to you.
No,
it's up to you.
I really want you
It's
to.
up to you.
If you take ownership in the phrase of which position, I got a better hope that you're going to stay in that pocket. So
let's say not getting enough.
Okay. So they're not getting enough.
Not getting enough.
Ooh,
but you know what? Shouldn't it be about? I'm just saying, if the woman says she's not getting enough, or the man says he's not getting enough, shouldn't it be about the?
Ain't no man sitting there telling the woman, "Girl, you're asking too much." Stop all that.
No, but there are some nymphomaniacs.
That ain't the point. I'm not talking about condition. I'm talking about general marriages. You going all the way into she got some issues. Yeah, no, we're not talking that.
All right.
But I'm saying there's not a lot of men sitting there saying,
point is,
again, we got to do it
be
more.
About the quality versus the quantity. Because some people, people might want it 6 days a week, 5 days a week. I don't know. And it shouldn't be about the quality and not the quantity. I'm asking you a question.
Okay, so if I was a rich person and I had billions of dollars and I met someone who was making $20,000 a year, and I said, "Hey, it's money. Shouldn't it be more about the quality instead of the quantity?"
You know what?
I think that poor person would be like, "Bruh."
I can see how this is.
I'm just saying. When it comes to sex, I don't know if I agree. You asked my opinion. I think quality is fine.
I think here's the thing. I think when you add things in the mix, if it was just the two couple, the two people, the man and the woman in a relationship, but then when you throw in the mix children, not just one, but 2 or 3 kids, and you throw in his work schedule, her work schedule, and you throw in other things, maybe it could be a sickness or illness or condition that they're dealing with, or whatever season it is in their relationship, the stresses, then the woman or whoever, the man, the woman may say, "Hey, bro, that's it's too much." Maybe it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of time we spend together.
Well, based on what you're saying, because I really want to find out what the, because the sexual preferences play a role in terms of who's freaky and kinky and who's not, and who, all of that.
We ain't talking about all that.
But based on what you just said, based on what you just said,
I didn't say any of that kind of stuff. You just introduced another caveat into the conversation. We were not talking about.
I just want to make sure our chandelier holds up.
I'm saying we were not talking about that. We were just talking about the amount of time.
No, all I was getting ready to say, I was going to pivot to your point that, when you try to put all those elements about life into the equation, is it possible that maybe because people get comfortable knowing, hey, we have the marriage covenant, we're married, that they get a little lax in terms of pleasing their mate? That's because outside of marriage, maybe people they have more of a reason to really apply themselves to giving their sexual
because they
needs.
want that contract, they want that ring, they want that,
And then it's like a lot of folk act real good on the job interview, and then when they get hired,
they're hard employees. God, yes.
2 days later they're late. You know,
taking
and calling out
like you're on probation.
Right. So I guess what I was trying to get at is in the relationship, those business work, schedule, life, kids, all that, it could steal the air from the sex. Absolutely. In the relationship. Absolutely. I was just only pointing out that sometimes it could really be that you lost sight of how the marriage needs to have that connection. I tell people all the time, when you're married, there's one thing you can do with your mate that you can't do with anybody else. Right. And that is have sex. And if you're not having sex, then all of a sudden you become roommates, just friends, might be frenemies, right? Okay. And you just don't really have what is really exactly
that spiritual, emotional connection. That connection that only marriage can bring. That covenant.
That's what's up, Felicia. I'm glad she liked that phrase. Okay. So I think that it starts with, if the sex is not, and that's just terrible. I don't want to lie. Since the sex is not, because there's so many couples that I counsel that sex is a real part of the issues. While there are other issues, sex becomes the thing that men tend to focus on and fixate on, because we're like, if we're not getting that met, because we don't get to go get that from next door. Why you disagree?
No, I'm listening. I'm engaged. No, you cannot.
He's saying it like, and why can't you go? I'm just saying that becomes what men fixate on. Yeah. They're fixated on the fact that, and we started this whole thought because I was referencing, you corrected me, it was Kevin Hart, was it? Who was the comedian that said, if you're not...
Chris Tucker. No. Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Okay. So there was a comedian we had saw, and he made that point that he got divorced because they stopped having sex. And he was saying, and in his stand-up, he was saying how if you're married and you're not having sex, you're going to mess around and have no marriage. And I laughed because I was like, that's such a real thing, because so many couples are literally in that kind of like, it gets even weirder. The stresses are tough enough, but when there's no actual
connection,
well, you're not
no synergy. Like it's like if I start treating you like my roommate, because you are my friend, you are my buddy, you are my my priest, my cup, you're everything. But first of all, you're my husband, you're my lover, you're this. I can't cause you to wear all those hats except the hat that I really need you in, the capacity. Right. So I can't.
But the hat, we gotta be in agreement that it's needed to keep air in our relationship.
I agree.
And I think that most people don't, on a fundamental level, realize that is the air in the relationship. That is the fresh shower in the morning to a fresh start in your day kind of thing. And if you don't have that in your marriage, those stresses become all your marriage becomes is a picture of stress. It becomes a picture of issues and there's no real balance. I think sex balances the marriage, where it's not just the weight of the kids and the duties and the jobs and the this, but it also balances is with, we do have something special.
Now, can I ask you a question? So since the men tend to be the ones who are feeling neglected when it comes to that,
whose needs are not being met.
Shouldn't it be on the man to, I'm just saying, introduce, hey, honey, let me surprise you with a romantic dinner, and I know I'm getting a happy ending later? Or shouldn't it be up to the man to say, hey, let me just send these a dozen roses to my wife's job, or some candy, or let me go have just let me do something special to let her know. Because when he was dating her, when he was pursuing her, hopefully he was the one introducing all the, let's, weekend away or whatever he was doing. So I'm not saying what he did to get her, he got to keep up, which he should do that. But it would be nice if he wants to send her a message that, hey, I need some TLC. Let me give you some TLC. Let me rub your feet. Let me just, how can I serve you? Because I know I'll get served in the end.
Yeah. What I think is what happens, the reason that men don't pivot to those things that are needed.
The little boy comes out.
No. If anything, our nature comes out. Okay. Because men are more sexual in a general sense, not all inclusive, right? So most men feel when they get married, it's an unwritten rule. We're gonna have as much sex as I want. Do you follow what I'm saying? Yes. So because it becomes, and I'd love to hear what y'all think about this, those who are watching. But I think that a lot of men, do you agree that a lot of men feel like sex is supposed to happen because we're married? And because I say that is they lose sight of the value of friendship and intimacy and romance and yes, because sex is I'm entitled to it. That's what it so is. A lot of times the entitlement makes men just overlook all of the things that draw you into me, you know, like I say, intimacy is how I speak to you to draw you into me. And we lose sight of that as men, and we just feel like you're not meeting my need. You know, I have needs. But they're not doing, and I guess by them displaying an outward tantrum, big boy tantrum, the woman then felt like, well, listen, and she started just throwing out her little thing, like, I'm tired, I'm blah, 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 you ain't doing this and the other, and that's how the fight versus he just stand up and go, listen, this is, Well, just look at it this way, like the left side of your brain thinks one way, the right side thinks the other. Now make one side men and one side women. When he's saying I'm entitled and should be happening, he's not thinking I need to do friendship, intimacy, and da-da-da-da. He's just thinking I have a need and you're not meeting it. You follow what I'm saying? And she's looking at, because she thinks from her side of the brain as, well, if you was doing more of this and more of that and more of this, it'll happen. Right. Yeah. So it's like literally like Spanish and, Russian conversation, and both are getting frustrated. And when if you've ever been to a country where they don't speak your language, if you're not careful, you speak louder as if they're going to translate it. You're like, they're like, no habla español. Let's say you're in Mexico, and then you go, no, where is? And they're looking at you like, sis, bruh. Yeah. Yelling doesn't make it clearer. No. And what happens is people get frustrated and they start yelling. And they start, and it expresses in an aggressive or argumentative way, when really they lost sight of the fact that we just look at this different and trying to build a gap or bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? And because women are speaking Spanish, it's hard for Spanish culture to understand a Russian culture or our American culture to understand because the core values of that, the expectations, everything is so different. It can get real frustrating. So I suggest people literally just kind of rewind and try to just have a seat and try to listen to where your mate is, to go, listen, we haven't been, and I know there's a lot going on, but I really think in this season, it's important that we start to physically connect. And what would make that work better for you? And the other person has to be mature enough not to use this as a, I'm gonna wind the towel up and I'm gonna pop you, because they can go, well, if you get a third job and then it's like, see, you missed the point. It wasn't for you to hit me with the issues and your pain. It was for us to focus on the proper strategy to have a successful connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we need to do? And if the other person's being petty and they're like, well, if you clean up behind yourself, maybe it's like, are we really petty enough? You know what I'm saying?
That happens all the time, I'm sure. I'm really sure.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's look at it from the standpoint of you're getting too much. I think only just once or twice that I've had, that happening from a male standpoint. So you have to represent the women in this part of it. Like you asked me to represent the men in that part. So why does a woman, I started to say, why does her legs get tired? But I'll just say, my legs are tired. Shut up. But why does a woman get tired or doesn't want to?
Too much?
Yeah. What makes it too much for a woman?
I guess what makes it too much for a woman is she's tired. She got stuff she's doing.
All right, so we're going to have real talk.
She's tired.
Before you go, she has the easiest job.
I'm talking about, y'all see that? I'm talking.
I want to understand this.
Talking.
You represent all women.
I am talking about.
Be panoramic. Be macro.
The average woman.
She got the easiest job.
The average woman. Okay, let me tell you. The average woman. We're not talking about the sexual act. We're talking about the psychological, emotional, physical tiredness she's dealing with from her life. Okay. And then when she's getting too much, because when she gets home from her work, from an 8-hour day, 10-hour day work, she has to cook dinner, clean the clothes, help kids with the homework. Help the kids with their homework. And then she got to do all this, and she wants to shower and hop in the bed, and he wants to put Teddy Pendergrass on. Y'all who that is? Okay. R. Kelly, whatever music you like, whatever. He's ready to go, and she's ready to go to sleep. So she's tired. We're not talking about the physical act of sex, whether you're swinging from the ceilings or whatever you're going to do. She's tired from her life. So she don't feel like getting it every single day. All right, that's what I'm saying.
So let's use science for a second.
No, we're not. You're still talking about the physical, sweetheart. I'm talking about the emotional.
I am.
She's drained because she works 6 days a week.
Yeah, and she
teachers,
she sucked doctors, it up. Hold on, wait.
Accountants, come on. Childcare, what do you guys do? Nurses. Let me hear you. You working, right? Whatever job you do. CEOs, ladies that are working, whatever you do, whatever kind of job you do. After you worked your 8 to 10-hour job, stuck in traffic, come home, cook dinner, help kids with the kids' clothes, and you do not feel like doing it every single day. That's just the bottom line.
I'm doing this. Okay, but all right.
That's too much.
All right. Let's use science for a second. And this is based on studies. All right. No, just physical act. Just let me just finish my point. Did I not? While you was doing all that.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, if we put it in perspective for consideration, macro, panoramic view, worldview, just looking at it all, right? Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is, based on what studies have shown, I ain't talking about your boy. This don't reflect your man. But all I'm saying is there are studies that say the average act of intercourse is only going to last that dude somewhere between 5 and 9 minutes. Oh, wow. Hold on. I know it's not your world. You don't know that. You don't know what that's about. And then they said they had the ones who are on the higher end, their max number was 16 minutes. Now y'all can clock yourselves in your free time when you want. Just clock yourself and see where you land at. All right. And then I suppose those of us who are beyond that, we get to just be like King Kong on the roof. But my point is, let's say the average guy is 5 minutes, under 10 minutes. Some ladies are like, he was like 3 minutes. He was like before he started, he finished. And all I'm saying is, let's say the average dude, she's at 5 and 9 minutes, exclamation. All I'm saying is, let's say the average dude is 7 minutes. We're gonna pick a median, right? Okay. 7 minutes. Now you done sacrifice. Just follow me before you cut me off, because I know I already got the So look, she done sacrifice at work. She done sacrificed for the kids. She done sacrificed to clean and cook and whatever else you said.
Women do, yeah.
Yeah, that she does. Now, what good is all of that if there is no marriage? So a sacrifice of 7 minutes in the context of we just saying, I started to say Tyrone, but I got a brother named Tyrone. All right, so I won't say Tyrone, but we'll just say Tom. Okay, Tom is 7 minutes. She done sacrifice all that. It's only being short-sighted because that man needs may get met somewhere else. Is all I'm trying to say. Okay. I'm not saying it's your fault. Mm-hmm. I'm asking you to consider sacrificing 7 minutes for Tom, so Tom can, at least be all right. He ain't great, but he's okay.
He's okay.
Because he knows it was a labor of love versus Tom, come here. Tom's like, oh, baby, this case, it's like, hurry up, Tom, go. Okay. So all I'm saying is, how about making that sacrifice for Tom, right? Knowing that it's a needed part. You need to feed him, but you also need to.
Okay. Yeah. But remember, it says, are you getting too much? Right. And so what if
She's saying it's too much because of all the stuff on her plate. Right. I was just trying to give perspective that if she realizes he needs to be on her plate as well,
and that's
get a man in 7 minutes.
When I said that's where Tom is going to have to understand the quality of the time you spend together has to be more important than the quantity, how many times. Because some people, in the marriage,
what's quantity? Once a month? We talking about what Tom? No. What does Tom have to settle for?
Let's say week.
Tom has to settle for.
If it's 2 or 3 times a week versus.
Well, if Tom's getting it 2 or 3 times a week, Tom's okay. Tom's okay.
How about twice a week?
It gets a little weird. But it don't have to be 5 and 6 times a week. It don't have to be like a daily vitamin. I'm just saying, if Tom is 3 to 4 weeks, I think that is a real healthy space. 3 to 4 days a week. 3 to 4 days a week.
No, I thought we just said 2 to 3 days.
I said if Tom is 2 to 3 days a week, I think Tom is okay. The people I've counseled, they are struggling because they be like, when the last time you had sex? And they're like, and she just sitting there like, go ahead, count. And he's like, I guess it's been about 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's what, and so what I'm saying is 2 to 3 times a week, Tom is gonna be super happy.
Tom needs to get an account at Zales or get an account.
Now you gotta buy love.
I'm just saying he needs to go get a diamond earrings or
now Tom's a trick. Tom's name is John now.
Tom needs to get his game up.
Why?
If he only getting if
it's because of the issues have sucked the connection. It's because the issue has just took the energy out.
Tom needs to take.
See, even Felicia agrees. Give the man his 7 minutes. We ought to 7 minutes matter t-shirts. Let's do 7 minutes matter t-shirts.
What I'm saying. Well, could it be possible that
we gotta get ready to stop?
Okay, but could it be possible that she's not giving him any, and if it's been all those kind of weeks, maybe she's disinterested because, like you said, it's the issues that she has with him creeping in, and maybe she's not attracted to him anymore. And I don't know, it could be that also.
But no, usually it's the they're in love, but their issues are sucking the air out of their ability to find each other, to even be in the mood, for each other in that way. I was only just trying to make a point as we are about to close. The only point I was really trying to make is it's complicated. It's complicated.
We should just call this segment.
It's complicated.
Let's talk about sex.
Yeah, right. Because but as complicated as life can be, is as simple as breathing is. So it doesn't matter how complicated your life is, you have to keep breathing, right? So if you have a marriage, and as complicated things are, if you want a long-term good outcome, you have to at least keep some of the good habits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I know for some it's easier said than done. And there you go.
There you go.
All right. So
I think we should have a part 2 to this.
I don't know.
We should have a part 2 because
maybe that's the disconnect.
Thank you.
She said women are mental. You have to get her into the mental.
Didn't I just say getting the count at Zales?
Did
I just say getting the count at Zales, send her some flowers, plan a romantic evening? So thank you. Yes,
yeah. But again,
there should be a part 2.
But again, that's somebody speaking Spanish and he is speaking Russian.
And he needs to understand. He needs to get his
Yo,
dating game up.
Yo, see now that's when it gets weird. You know how there are Americans who have issues with people who speak Spanish. You're in America, speak the language type of thing. Well, he can't necessarily learn easily a woman's language.
Well, he knew her language in the beginning to get her interested. I'm sure he knew. He probably just fell off his game and he just figured, oh, well, she's my wife.
So why she
obligated?
If we're going to be a war of sexes, why did she jump into what did she know?
Because
she knew he had needs.
You're missing my point.
Evil woman, deprived. No,
and that's why it should be a part 2 to this, because you were missing some key elements. Because
I'll let you let us know what the next week will look like.
Next week we're going to pick this up. It's gonna be
Felicia said, preach, Mom.
It's complicated. Let's talk about sex because there's more to it than just what we presented.
Okay, but what part is the complicated part?
And stay tuned to next week and we'll tell you. Because it is. I'm gonna bring my A game next week.
She's gonna have a power, because one thing women like, I gotta go to the bathroom. us got to go to the bathroom. So all of us got to get up. All the ladies got to get up and all go to the bathroom.
Have a meeting.
So now she's going to have a powwow with her brain trust. All right.
These are the
What's
issues
the
we're
game plan? All right, fine. Next week. All right.
It's complicated.
It's
Talk
complicated.
about sex, part 2.
All right, cool.
Have a great weekend.